What's up, people? Fitness with Dan here. First video on the channel, we're going to be reviewing Greg Doucette's Anabolic Cookbook. All right, a couple things before we get started. One, I actually do have the Anabolic Cookbook. If that focuses, you can see the copy right there. That's why I'm not going to scroll down any further, because I know some of you video ninjas will take a screenshot and get me sued by Greg, so we're not going to show any further than that. Before I get started with that, since this is the first video of the channel, I wanted to touch base on a couple things real quick. I'm 34. I'm about 170 right now, and probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 23% body fat. Kind of high on the body fat, but to be honest, that's where I'm comfortable training. I'm able to progressively overload. It is summer right now. I would much rather be 15% when I go to the pool, but I like training around 20%. If I could snap my fingers and be 15% at the pool and snap them back and be 20-something% in the gym, I would do that, but I can't, so this is where I'm training at right now, and I'm comfortable at keeping my weight at right now. That being said, let's get into the cookbook. So I want to go over a few of the recipes that I really like from the cookbook, and the first one I wanted to touch on is his flat-out pizza wraps. They're not really wraps, they're flatbreads, flat-out flatbread pizzas. So from the cookbook, here is the flat-out wraps that I got. It says 130 calories. As Greg will probably tell you, that's probably a little low if you actually measured it out. But really tasty, really good. So what do I put on the pizza? One thing I get is, if I can reach it here, the Kraft mozzarella. This is fat-free. It's only 45 calories. If you go to the store, they have all kinds of different mozzarellas. I think one's like Philadelphia cream cheese mozzarella that's like 150 calories per serving. That one's 45 per serving, and I can't tell the difference. If you're a really picky eater, maybe you tell the difference, but honestly, for 45 calories, I can load that up, and it's barely any calories. The other stuff I use is, I have it in here. This is the pizza sauce I use. It's Rayos, homemade. I don't know, if you go to the grocery store, there's probably a ton there. This one's got 6 servings, 40 calories per serving. I probably put maybe a serving on the wrap, which is a fairly generous amount, actually. Again, pretty low calories, can't beat that. And then bison for the protein. So I get ground bison in the grocery store. It's about $10. You know, this is all I have left. So I can usually make about 3 servings worth of bison. So I can eat this pizza 3 times a week. Probably comes to 550, 600 calories or something with all the stuff I put on it. I really load it up with the bison, so that's kind of where that number's coming from, plus the cheese, plus the sauce. My wife also really enjoys these, and she's a pizza fiend, probably on the level of Greg's girlfriend. She'll eat pizza every night of the week if she could. So I switched her over to these. She still occasionally gets like the California cauliflower pizza or something like that, and she'll eat that too, but she also seems to enjoy these. Are they as good as a regular pizza? I would rather have a regular pizza, but honestly, this meets that pizza craving for me, and like I said, if you load it up with a bunch of bison, it's fairly hearty. I mean, I feel pretty satisfied after I eat it. So that's probably number 1 on my list. The second thing on my list would probably be Greg's Anabolic French Toast, which I'm about to eat for lunch, actually. And what I do is I cook up a crap ton once a week, usually on Sundays, and I will eat that throughout the week, basically. I use egg whites, a couple whole eggs, and then if you've seen its videos, you've probably seen the recipe, but they're pretty filling, and I know a lot of people use Walden Farms. I get Log Cabin. It's the sugar-free version, and it'll say either 90% or 80% fewer calories on the front. Basically, it's 10 calories per serving, and a serving is 2 tablespoons. So this whole thing has 24 servings. You can see it's almost out right now, but if I were to use the whole thing with all the servings, this is only 240 calories for the entire bottle. So you can be fairly generous and still keep your calories really low. You know, Walden Farms is going to be a little bit lower, but this tastes identical to regular maple syrup to me anyway. My wife eats it too, and she's a little bit more picky when it comes to those kind of things, but I mean, I can't tell the difference at all. So let's see, number 3. I would say my third favorite thing is probably the wraps. So we got Lavish Joe's, or Joseph Lavish bread wraps. This whole wrap, according to the packaging, is 60 calories per half a flatbread, so 120 for one of these giant flatbreads. Again, Greg will probably tell you that's a little low and they're not measuring correctly. But anyway, you still get a lot for fairly low calories. With that, we usually, one second. Get the baby spinach, so load that up. This thing's like $2 or something at Walmart or BJ's, and it's a ton here. We usually can't get through it before it goes bad, but it's criminal how cheap it is. And you can load that up. It's basically no calories. I mean, there are calories, but it's so minute. We put chicken on it and then some kind of shredded cheese. And yeah, it's low calorie, fills you up pretty well. The wraps taste really good. I'm not a huge wrap fan, but it tastes pretty good. So that is number 3. Number 4, sorry, shut that fridge before we lose all the cold air out of there. Number 4, and this isn't, I don't know if this is actually in the cookbook or I've just seen this in Greg's video, so Greg, I apologize, but the Smart Pop popcorn. This is the 100-calorie bags. This stuff is fantastic. And you don't even eat all the kernels usually because half of them don't pop, not half, but there's some that don't pop, so you're obviously not eating those, so it's actually less than 100 calories. This is my holy grail right here, man. I can eat this up whenever I get a craving or whatever, and it's only 100 calories. I like this so much. If you guys come with me for a second, I'll show you what we got. So I went to the grocery store a couple times, and I could not find it, and it was pissing me off, man. I came home, I told my wife, and I was like, we gotta do something. I can't not have the popcorn. I eat like at least a bag a day. So we went on Amazon and we bought a year's supply. So just so you guys know I'm not BSing you, this is all of the popcorn, and it's several rows deep of just this popcorn. So there is a ton of popcorn. And it's fantastic. It's probably, like I said, I'm not sure if it's on the cookbook or not, but it's definitely my favorite snack from the cookbook. Not tried the apple goop. I really like apple pie, so I'm excited to try that, but I haven't tried it yet. I did try one of the shakes, which with the thickening and everything. I don't think I blended the ice very well, so it was kind of chunky. I wasn't a huge fan, but I think that's more preparation error on my part than an issue of Greg's cookbook. Now, for the record, I did not buy the cookbook myself. My friends actually got it for me for my birthday, which was in May. We're in the end of June now. So I've been doing it for a few weeks, but it's fantastic. I eat a lot. I could probably put away everything in my fridge upstairs right now in a day if I wanted to. Wife's probably got mushrooms in there, and I hate mushrooms. So excluding the mushrooms, I could probably put away that whole fridge in a day. So being able to find food that is, you know, low calorie, high volume is fantastic, so I don't gain too much extra weight. I don't want to get up to 30% body fat, but I do like eating a lot. So the more options I have, instead of just chicken, rice, and broccoli and putting some Frank's Red Hot sauce on it, the better. You know, I really enjoy the variety that's in the cookbook and the fact that there are so many options. That being said, like I said, I didn't buy the cookbook myself, but I did ask for it for my birthday, and my friends did get it. The only takeaway that I've had so far with them on it is that they thought shut off the light there. They thought the cookbook was actually a joke because of the branding, I guess, on the website, and because of Greg's picture on the front of it. So they thought they were getting scammed, or I was just joking about wanting it. So that's probably the only negative takeaway I think I have from it, is maybe the branding is a bit of an issue for some people. But in general, I've very much liked my experience with it. There's a lot of other recipes on there. Those are just the ones that I really enjoyed. Just wanted to give you guys a review. If you tune in next week, we're going to be getting a puppy, so I'll have a video on that.